Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome, my name's Randy and we'll be doing a crochet tutorial today. Now today when I started filming this, only 2 days before Halloween, but I had this idea. I've been looking for an idea to use or to have with this yarn, and so I said I have to make it. It's a last minute Halloween one, but I think he's really cute, and I hope he will turn out very cute. And I think this is gonna be one that you can like keep on your like bookshelf or your shelf all year round if you love spooky season and Halloween. So I hope he turns out well because like I said, I've had this yarn for a while. Oops. And I've been trying to think of like the perfect thing to do with it. This is the Little Bunny by Premier Yarns in the color Key Lime. It's a nice like bright green color. It almost looks like it would glow in the dark, but it does not. I'll be using a 5mm hook, crochet needle, and of course a stitch marker. Very important. Other tools you'll need, or optional things I should say, acrylic yarn, safety eyes, and yeah, so like I'm gonna be using black acrylic yarn for detailing, but you can use whatever color you want. Same with this, you can use whatever color yarn you want, you can use whatever type of yarn you want. I'm just here to give you a generic idea of how to do this if you thought he was cute and wanted to do it. So yeah, let's go ahead and start making our Franken-Frog, I think is what I'm gonna call him. So let's get started. Like I said, it's 2 days before Halloween right now while I'm starting filming this. I won't finish until tomorrow, which is Halloween Eve. And I was just like relaxing and this idea came to me and I said, that's perfect for this yarn. I have to make it. And we're gonna start with a magic ring, or if you're like me and are terrible at the magic ring, you'll do a starting chain of 4. I know you really cannot see this, but go into the first stitch, and then we're gonna go into the center here and do 6 stitches. Oh, hold on, I gotta start over. I don't know what happened with my last magic ring, but it was unraveling. So we'll go into the center loop here, which like I said, you probably cannot see. And we are going to put at least 6 stitches. Let's see how many it needs. This is my first time making this right now in the moment. So there's some things we'll have to learn as we go along. 3, oops, sorry, 4, 5, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go with 6. Sometimes I go with 8, but I think today we'll do 6. So we'll put 6 stitches into the center. Then I'm gonna leave my stitch marker because fluffy yarn, you will eventually be able to see your stitches, but I feel like at the very start it is very difficult to see them. So that's what's great about a stitch marker. So let me not go through the center of the stitch marker though. Let me go through the loop. All right. So I'm going to do a single crochet and I'm going to pull 1 stitch through, and now I'm going to make this my starting stitch. And we'll count this as row 2, and I'm going to put another stitch into that same one. So I'll have 2 stitches into 1, then I'll feel for my next loop and put 2 stitches into here, then 2 stitches into the third, and go all the way around just like this. So 2 into the 4th, and you should have 12 stitches for round 2. Once you make it around to the start, we'll remove our stitch marker because it's getting a little easier to see our stitches. And I'm going to put a single stitch in to start, marker starting. And for round 3, we'll put 2 stitches in the first, then the next one do a single stitch, then 2 stitches into the second or third, then a single stitch, then 2 stitches into the next, wait to pull some more yarn free. And then a single stitch, and we'll go all the way around. Once we make it back around to the start, we will keep expanding, and I will put, let me make sure I'm on the right stitch, 2 stitches into the first one again. Mark my first one, go back into it, so 2 stitches in the first one, then 1 single stitch and a second single stitch, then 2 stitches into the next, and then go into 1 single stitch, 2 single stitches, and then I'm going to do double, then a single and a single, double, then a single and a single, all the way around. And now, just to save on time and not to make this video a million years, I will just shorten how I say it from here on as we expand. So when I say 2 stitches into 1, that means you're going to put a single stitch, then a single stitch, all into 1 stitch on your previous row. And then a single stitch will just be 1 stitch into 1, if that makes sense. If you've seen how we're doing it, we're just going to keep going with the pattern, expanding it out. For the next round, we'll put 2 stitches into the first, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, then 2 stitches into the next, then 1, 2, 3 single, and keep that pattern all the way back to the start. Next round, we'll put 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single, then keep going all the way back to the start. Next, we're going to put 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 2 stitches in 1, then 5, 2, all the way around. 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 6, all the way around to the start. We want it to be kind of puffed up, but then we want 2 stitches into 1, 7, 2 stitches in the next, 7, all the way around. Keep expanding, 2 stitches into 1, 8, 2 stitches in the next, 8, 2 stitches all the way around. The next round, we're going to put 2 stitches in the first, 9, 2 stitches in the next, 9, all the way around. Last expanding round, we're going to put 2 stitches into 1, 10, 2 stitches in the next, 10, and then I am going to do several rounds of just staying the same, putting a single stitch in every stitch. And the next time I come back with a clip, I'll tell you how many rounds I did for the physical body. Alright, I did 8 rounds of staying the same, where I put a single stitch in every stitch all the way around, and this is how we look, kind of laid flat. Obviously, he's not going to be flat. He is going to be stuffed, so yeah, I'm not really sure how he's gonna look, but we're hoping for the best here, people. So I'm gonna start reducing at this point to kind of try my best to pull the inside together, and I guess he'll kind of look like this, like that ish, with eyes and a mouth. So let's go ahead and start. So to reduce, instead of putting 2 stitches into a single stitch, we're going to take 2 stitches and make them 1. So instead of putting 2 in here, I'm going to weave through the first one and weave through the second one and pull through for 1 single stitch. So once I put my 2 stitches into 1, I'm going to do 9, and then I'm going to do 2 stitches into 1, then 9, then 2 stitches into a single stitch, then 9 all the way. For the next round, we're still reducing, so we're reducing 2 stitches down into 1, pulling through the first, going through the second, then pulling into 1 single stitch, 8, then reducing to 1 stitch. And I am only going on the back loops here to try and, I don't know if you can really see it, but this round, I'm only doing the back loops, which is very hard to see with this yarn. But I'm only going to do the back loops to try and get it where I can have kind of like a flattened bottom. Going to keep reducing, weaving through 2 stitches, pulling through for 1, 7, weaving through 2 stitches, pulling through to make it 1, 7. And I'm once again going to do one more round of only going through the back loops all the way around. To you can kind of, I don't think you can see at this angle, that it's going inward, which is what I want it to do. All right, we're going to keep reducing. So we're going to weave 2 stitches into a single stitch, 6, 2 stitches into a single stitch, 6, And we are just gonna go into the front and back loops this time, hoping that it'll kind of evenly flatten out. We're gonna keep reducing two stitches into one single stitch, 5, 2 stitches into one single stitch, 5, all the way back around. 2 stitches into a single stitch, 4, 2 stitches into a single stitch, 4, all the way around. After this round that I'm about to do, we're gonna stuff it, but I'll put 1 stitch into 2, so I'm gonna weave 2 stitches together, making 1, 3, 2 stitches into a single stitch, 3, all the way around. The shape is exactly what I was going for, very like gumdrop like. We're gonna keep reducing 2 stitches into one single one, then 1, 2, 2 stitches into one single one, 1, 2, all the way around. After the last round, I pulled my yarn through and I attached it to this yarn needle, and I'm basically gonna weave in and then out and then in and then out all the way around, and then pull it tight to seal this. After he is sealed, we're going to add some detailing. I'm going to use some black acrylic yarn, and Frankenstein is arguably like technically a little zombie, so he's gonna be like in between zombie frog / Franken-Frog. So I was thinking of doing like a seam here with some black yarn, like he's been stitched back up, because as I throw my needle here, as kind of like when they do like frog dissections, you know, so he'll kind of have that. Then I'm gonna give him a little smile because he's still friendly, and we'll do the eyes after we'll crochet some green yarn. I think I might do like an X for one eye, what's it called? A safety eye for the other, and then some arms and legs. But yeah, so like I said, I think I'm gonna do like, instead of, I feel like a lot of times you see Frankenstein with like stitching around the neck because his head was reattached or something, so I am just gonna do down the middle because I feel like that's appropriate for frogs. Alright, so I added one eye, and now I'm going to show you how I made the eye. I like the little X. I gave him a little smile because he is friendly. He's not a mean Frankenstein. He's definitely friendly. I did add this around. I'm not going to leave this. This is just if I need extra yarn and I don't want to weave it in right now, but I did kind of add where it's like he had his brain taken out. He was dissected, but he's still happy. You know, he's a friendly guy. So we're gonna make the other eye so I can show you how to make it. This one has an X, and I kind of like this, but I'm also gonna try out a safety eye, and if I don't like it, I might just do a second one of these, because I think he looks really cute like that, as funny as that is. You do the starting chain of 4 for the eye, and this is gonna be the height. Then you do 6 rows of 3 single stitches, and I'm going to cut my yarn. I'm going to weave through the top to kind of pull it, and then weave down to make it all one piece. So you weave back and forth, back and forth, back and forth through each stitch on the top. Then you fold it over, weave back and forth, tie it, and then you have like an open eye. I'm currently playing a little bit of yarn chicken. I should definitely have enough to make one last arm, but the arms and legs are like fundamentally the same. The legs are just shorter. The arms are a little longer, so you can kind of like stick them out like a Frankenstein. So to get started, you want to do your magic ring and put 6 stitches into the center. Then you're going to put 2 stitches in every stitch. So you're going to put 1 stitch, then 2 stitch into one, then 1 stitch and then 2 into the next, all the way around, getting 12 total stitches. Then once I did this, for the legs, which I did not stuff, I left them just like empty. I did 4 rounds of staying the same, so 4 rounds of 12 after this one to get the legs, and then for the arms I'm doing 6 rounds of 12 after this one. So the arms I wanted to make a little longer, like I said, to kind of have them sticking out. I will stuff the arms. The legs I left unstuffed because, you know, I just let them be. You can stuff them if you'd like, but I just prefer them to be flat, almost like he has like 2 little feet that he's standing on. And he is complete. We have where his brain was stitched back in. He's missing an eye. He's been dissected, but don't worry, he is still very friendly. I stuffed his arms so they would kind of sticking out like you traditionally see Frankenstein with. His legs can kind of be similar in that way, or they can be like little feet, like so. But yeah, there he is. I had a lot of fun making him. He was pretty easy, especially if you're familiar with making plushies. It's not a super hard pattern. But yeah, he was quick and easy and fun to make on the night before Halloween. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely subscribe, hang out for a while, and go check out my Instagram as well. But I hope you enjoyed. Bye!